Something just exploded inside the British government. A policy that ministers are calling the biggest shift since the Second World War is about to tear Parliament apart, ignite a nationwide political firestorm, and trigger the most polarizing debate Britain has seen in decades. Because tonight, the Home Secretary has confirmed something that sounded impossible only weeks ago. Asylum seekers will now have to wait 20 years before they are allowed to apply for permanent settlement in the United Kingdom. And that single announcement has set off a chain reaction across Westminster that is already spiraling out of control. The decision wasn't leaked by accident. Shabana Mahmood chose to confirm it publicly on the BBC hours ahead of her full statement to Parliament. She wanted it to land like political dynamite, and it did. Even before sunrise, MPs' phones were buzzing non-stop as the details spread. The current 5-year pathway to permanent residency is being ripped up. The new pathway will take to decades, and the most explosive part, for many asylum seekers, the Home Secretary doesn't even expect them to reach those 20 years because the moment their country of origin is declared safe, they will be sent back immediately. The reaction was instant. Reform UK supporters celebrated. Conservatives demanded even tougher measures. Labour's own left-wing accused Mahmood of capitulating to populist rhetoric. Immigration lawyers warned of legal gridlock. Human rights groups called it inhumane. But inside the Home Office, officials insisted this was the only way to regain control of a system they say is collapsing under pressure. Because just yesterday alone, more than 200 people crossed the channel in small boats. And so far this year, 39,000 have made the journey. Mahmood has been building toward this moment. Her message today was sharp. The asylum system is out of control, unfair, and putting enormous strain on communities across Britain. And with the national debate more polarized than ever, she believes this policy is her defining test. But while reformers praised her firmness, others accused her of inflaming tensions. One senior Labour MP warned privately that Mahmood's announcement risks tearing the party in half, but she is unmoved. She wants voters to know she's listening to the public's concerns, even if her own colleagues aren't ready to hear them. The new policy doesn't stop at longer settlement times. The Home Office is also considering cutting accommodation and financial support for asylum seekers who are found working illegally or engaging in criminal activity. But the legal battles ahead will be fierce. Changes to Article 8, the right to family life, are also being reviewed. Government lawyers say this right is blocking removals. Courts say it protects vulnerable families. That fight is heading straight for Parliament, but the real political battle is happening outside the Labour Party. Both the Conservatives and Reform UK immediately attacked Mahmood from the right. Reform said the changes were a step, not a solution. The Conservatives went even further. Their MPs demanded withdrawal from the European Convention on Human Rights entirely. To them, the ECHR is the main obstacle preventing faster deportations, quicker removals, and tighter border enforcement. In fact, Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch has already offered to work with Labour if Labour is truly serious about lowering immigration. That offer alone sent shockwaves through both parties. Some Labour strategists fear Mahmood is drifting into dangerous territory. They worry she is hardening her stance to neutralise criticism from Reform, and in the process, risking the loyalty of Labour's progressive base. One shadow minister admitted there's panic brewing behind closed doors. He said the left wing feels abandoned, while the right wing doesn't think Mahmood has gone far enough. But Mahmood insists she is taking the only path that reflects public opinion. She points to her constituency surgery, where she hears the same thing every week. People feel overwhelmed. People feel unheard. People feel ignored by a system they no longer trust. Meanwhile, pressure is mounting from the Conservatives. MP Chris Philp appeared on the same programme and delivered a brutal attack. He claimed asylum seekers are crossing the channel because they know they are unlikely to be removed. He accused Labour of being weak, saying that under this government, 95% of people who cross the channel are allowed to stay. His words were designed to sting. The government is failing, the public is angry, and the current rules are a magnet. Inside the Commons, MPs are already preparing for a ferocious battle. Immigration is the #1 issue in multiple national polls, and every political party knows it. Reform UK is rising, the Conservatives are under pressure. Labour's majority is being tested, and Mahmood is trying to walk a tightrope that none of her predecessors could survive. But behind the scenes, something even bigger is happening. Senior civil servants have warned that the asylum backlog is at risk of collapsing. Cases are piling up faster than they are being processed. Local councils are exhausted, housing shortages are worsening, and charities are warning of a humanitarian disaster if thousands of asylum seekers lose support unexpectedly. The moment Mahmood announces this policy in Parliament, the chamber will erupt. Reform will demand Britain leave the ECHR. Conservatives will accuse Labour of weakness. Labour's left wing will accuse Mahmood of abandoning compassion. Lawyers will prepare for legal challenges. But Mahmood is betting everything on one calculation: that the British public has run out of patience and wants decisive action now. Tonight, Britain stands at the edge of a political fault line. The government insists this is the only way to restore order. Critics warn it will lead to more chaos, more legal battles, and more division. But Mahmood is not backing down. She knows this policy could define her legacy and make or break her party. And tomorrow, when she stands in front of Parliament to defend the biggest asylum overhaul since World War II, every MP in the chamber will have the same thought. This debate will shape the future of Britain. If you don't want to miss what happens next, make sure you're subscribed because the next 48 hours are going to change the immigration debate forever.